Into the Enchanted Forest, Book 1 of the Enchanted Forest series, by Alicia J. Chumney. Chapter 10. 15 minutes later, she was still walking, looking around every corner, expecting another Wonderland character or experience. Where was the backward checkerboard? Tweedledee or Tweedledum, the Mad Hatter. The road was becoming less of a dirt path and more of a smooth pebble road. She could see a small town about a half-mile away. It was a strange little town, from what she could see. Bright reds and purples stood out. Coming closer, she noticed that the reds and purples were all at one building that was shaped like a teapot. Everything around it was muted blues and greens, grays and brick, in various natural brook shades. Hatter's Tea Shop, read the sign over the door. Wonderland's best selection of teas and hats, read the smaller words on the window and door. What an odd combination, Gabby commented, mostly to herself, until she realized that the tea-drinking Mad Hatter owned the shop with the March Hare and Dormouse. Gabby faced a dilemma. She could enter the shop and meet these apparently colorful characters, or continue on to the castle. Each idea had its merits, and she knew that it was a trial. Now, what was being tested, now that she knew what was being tested, she could figure out when it was happening. She couldn't just figure out what the right answer was, when meeting the Mad Hatter could also mean delaying her coronation. Which was more important? With a sigh, Gabby followed her instincts when she pushed open the door and entered the store that looked like a rainbow had puked in it. Brightly colored hats with insects, flowers, and ribbons lined the walls. Shelves and shelves of tea boxes took up space along the floor, littered by tea test centers. One corner even had a build-your-own-hat station with a build-your-own-tea station in the opposite corner. 3 cash drawers were located near the door. The biggest spectacles were on the floor. The Mad Hatter was center stage at his podium, calling out sales to customers or calling the March Hare back to his side. While the Dormouse slept in his teapot and the Hatter pushed sales, the March Hare would manically hop around the store, interrupting employees and creating confusion. It took the March Hare running into Gabby for the not quite Mad Hatter to notice that the March Hare was running amok. "Hare!" Hatter snapped, adjusting his hat as he approached the pair. "How much Happy Hair Energy Tea did you drink from the demo stations?" The Hare hopped in place, holding up 4 fingers. 3, maybe? Speaking into a small microphone on his lapel. "Jeannie, please bring some calming tea to Hare," was announced over the speakers. Turning to Gabby, it puts him out like a light, holding out a hand. "Madeline Hatter, pleased to meet you. You can call me Lenny." Gabby, she responded, slightly confused. "I know, we've been expecting you." "I thought that you were a he," Gabby stammered out past her shock. "It's a wig. I'm naturally a blonde," she whispered, tugging at the crazy orange hair topped with a purple top hat. "I don't want people to completely know my true identity. They think that I'm my long-lost brother, Matter." "Where is Matter?" "He became too mad to run the shop, so we sent him to old Mother Hubbard's shoe for behavioral and cognitive adjustments," Hatter stated, walking around straightening hats and tea boxes. Following behind Hatter, Gabby asked, "In the never-ending forest?" "Right next to Sleeping Beauty's land in Roshan." Duly noted. "March Hare has been twice, and I'll be talking to his sister about sending him again. He doesn't like to take his meds." They watched as the passed-out Hare was carried away by the Tweedles. They both waved at the princess before disappearing into a rabbit hole hidden by a hat display. "I'm glad you stopped in," the Hatter whispered. "I wish I could stay and chat, but business is business. I'll be at the castle later to drop off the Queen's tea order. You might want to look around if you want your own tea order, but not today. The castle is waiting." "Thank you. I've learned so much from you these past 10 minutes. Stop by any time on Tuesdays." Hatter straightened a hat that had tilted sideways. "It's my slowest day." Looking around. "Now please, excuse me. I have to go back to pretending to be my manic depressive brother." Gabby's head jerked at the slightly outdated psychological terminology. "Huh," she mumbled. "Mad Hatter is bipolar? Interesting." With one last look around the tea shop, Matter Hatter is bipolar. Interesting. With one last look around the tea shop, she took in the organization beneath the chaos and hoped that Madeline would continue to be the head operating manager at the store. Gabby could only imagine how things would fall apart by having an unmedicated manic not keeping the shop in order. Looking at the road ahead of her, she faced the path that would lead to the castle. She figured out that the tea shop was to show her that well-balanced management would make up for a well-run kingdom, even if the outer layer is an illusion of madness and chaos.